We all have our own versions of perfection. In the process of achieving that perfection, we have to let go of a lot of things. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes not. We may end up losing people even. The ones we love become strangers overnight. The path then begs of the question, is it all worth it? Hello everyone. Welcome to Time Recaps, where we recap movies and shows in under 15 minutes. Today, we will recap a patriotic action thriller film named Raazi starring Alia Bhatt and Vicky Kaushal. I should warn you of the spoilers ahead. With that being said, relax and watch the recap. An Indian commander is delivering words to the new recruits on the only aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant. He goes on to talk about the brave deeds of an Indian woman who served as an undercover agent for Raazi, the espionage agency in India. The scene shifts to a room with Pakistani strategists who are planning for a war that is to take place in December of 1971. A man called Hidayat Khan is seen in the lobby. He is later received by a Pakistani official in Kashmir, Brigadier Parvez Syed, who also happens to be his friend. They talk sometimes before he expresses his worries about his only daughter. It is later revealed that he is an informant for the Indian government in Pakistan and has very little time as he is diagnosed with lung cancer. He wants his 20-year-old girl to carry on the family tradition of serving the nation and be recruited in the service. At his residence, he meets a Raazi operative Khalid Mir, and briefs about the Pakistani plans against India. He asks Khalid to decode the information ASAP and also proposes that because his health is failing, Khalid recruit and train his daughter, who is revealed to be Saimat. Khalid, while reluctant at first, agrees to mentor her. Saimat is a student at a university. She receives an urgent call from her father who wants her back ASAP. She packs her suitcase and leaves without wasting any more time for Kashmir. There, she is received by her father, who takes her home and reveals about his health status. He also expresses his wishes for her to join Raazi agency and serve as an informant for the Indian government. But to do this, he implies she marry the son of his friend Parvez Syed. Saimat is confused and doesn't know if she wants to take it or leave it. That night she spends thinking. After much contemplation, she agrees to forsake her studies and join the service. Saimat meets Khalid Mir and starts her training. She is trained in various spectrum of gathering intelligence, which include martial arts, guns, and the most important of all, covert communications that require Morse coding. After some time, her training is completed and she is recruited into the service. The next step is marrying the son, Iqbal Syed, who like his father also serves in the army. This serves not only as an insulation to avoid suspicions, but she can place herself close enough to the source of information. After marriage she moves to their army home with Iqbal, which also serves as the Pakistan Army headquarters. After having acquainted herself with house members and earning their trust, she is able to slither, gather and relay the information back to India. Also, Parvez gets promoted to Major General rank, which gives her more access to the delicate information about the country's plans and about the key members in the defense. To ensure secure communication, Saimat carefully installs a secret phone line in her bathroom and connects a message relay device to it. Through this secret setup, she sends encrypted messages to Khalid Mir. She maintains meticulous attention to detail when conveying intelligence about Pakistan's military operations and strategies, offering valuable insights to the other side. However, her innocence is doubted by a servant named Abdul in the house. One day, Parvez asks Saimat help with office keeping. He gives her the keys and goes to sleep. Using this as the ticket to unlimited information, she wakes up in middle of night to infiltrate and bug the whole place. Before returning the key to Parvez, she takes the imprint on the soap. The next day she takes a ride to a shrine where another agent is present. She gives him the soap with imprint and collects the duplicate key from him. In the meantime she finds herself falling in love with Iqbal and develops closeness to him. In the next scene she receives news about her father's demise that makes her grieve over. She returns to India to take part in funeral procession. While it's hard for her, she finds motivation to rise again and bring the mission to fruition. So she returns to Pakistan with Iqbal. Upon her return she is greeted by Parvez, who also is underway a meeting with his colleagues. She notices a red file in one of the hands and suspects it to have delicate information. Thus, taking a calculated risk, she enters again in the office using the duplicate key and relays as much of information she can to the other side. However, Abdul has been suspicious of Saymat since her arrival. He follows her actions and enters her bathroom and uncovers the communication apparatus. Abdul rushes to inform others about her, holding a piece of transmitter machine as evidence. In a desperate attempt, Saymat chases after Abdul. After giving him a run for his life, she uses a jeep to hit and kill him, thus maintaining her covert status. Saymat is guilt-ridden of what just happened and breaks down in the shower. However, Abdul is not dead, but is hospitalized and in critical condition. Parvez's brother visits him and Abdul tries to tell about Saymat. But before he can do so, he passes away. Abdul had been taking care of the house and its members for so long that he was regarded as just another extension. Thus, the brother decides to investigate about the death himself. On the other hand, Saymat carefully collects all the parts of the transmitter machine and places them in Abdul's room, thinking if the investigator discovers the machine, they will accuse Abdul of betrayal and not her. In the meantime, Khalid successfully decodes the information relayed by Saymat, discovering that Pakistanis plan to attack India through sea routes with INS Vikrant as their main target. He conveys the intelligence to the Navy officers. The officials at the helm are not too convinced and decide to wait and watch. Saymat gets to know of the investigation and knows in retrospection that it shall all come to her in the end. Thus she calls another spy operating in Pakistan named Kabir to seek guidance. Kabir suggests she eliminate the brother as the death would mean end of investigation too. Following Kabir's suggestion, Saymat goes to the office in a burqa and very surreptitiously injects his body with the help of an umbrella. She then leaves the scene without attracting attention. Moments later, because of the poison, the brother suffers a fatal heart attack. The death of two people from Parvez's house alerts the intelligence, who start a hunt for Indian spies residing in Pakistan. Khalid becomes aware of the situation. He quickly decides to rescue Saymat before it's too late, informing her of the imminent danger and instructing her to prepare for evacuation. In the next scene, Abdul's room is searched by the officials, who uncover parts of transmitting machine, leading them to believe that Abdul was the one secretly sending information to the Indians. Iqbal goes to sweep the room once more to make sure they aren't leaving anything behind. He finds Saymat's anklets during the time. While anybody else would suspect their wives to be cheating, Iqbal suspects Saymat to be the real spy and Abdul to be the scapegoat. He gives himself some time to think, standing in the bathroom looking at him. At that moment, Saymat returns home and notices Iqbal's uniform on the bed alongside the broken anklet piece. Convinced that Iqbal has discovered her true identity, she confronts him with a gun. At this moment, Iqbal confesses his love for her, but emphasizes that his loyalty lies with the nation above all else. Saymat reciprocates the gesture, but before she can pull the trigger, a young boy enters the room and embraces her. Seeing the futility, they draw a white flag, with Iqbal agreeing to let her escape in the car and give her time. Once she leaves, Iqbal meets his father and informs him everything about Saymat, urging him to deploy forces and capture her. Khalid has made it inside the Pakistani border and is waiting to receive Saymat and activate the evacuation protocol. He is disguised as a Pakistani officer with other agents. Before Saymat can locate them, Iqbal spots her and confronts her. Khalid orders one of his men to grenade the place. Khalid's motive for ordering this is to prevent Saymat from revealing any information about their agency or India. Following his orders, a grenade detonates near Saymat and Iqbal and they die. Khalid and his men are making it quick to leave Pakistan. There is a knock at the door. They're not expecting anyone at this hour. So Khalid cautiously opens it, and finds Saymat standing there. Saymat says that she switched places with another agent who was also disguised in a burqa. She had sent the alternate agent to meet Khalid while she ensured the safe return of the child. Thus she was able to survive the blast. Khalid fills her up with the events that took place sometime before. Saymat mourns loss of Iqbal and questions Khalid's actions, expressing her disappointment that despite working together for many years, Khalid didn't think twice before wanting to kill her. Khalid tries to justify his actions, emphasizing the nation and its security is above all else. Saymat realizes the insignificance of personal relationships. She is deeply disturbed by the decisions she made to keep the country safe. She wants some time off and returns to India with Khalid. She learns that she's pregnant with Iqbal's child. While many insist she aborted, she keeps the baby and raises him, proving that she loved Iqbal. The Indian army officials at the helm are finally convinced with the information about the Pakistani troops planning to attack India through sea routes with the help of PNS Ghazi, a special Pakistani submarine. Before Pakistan can go on the offensive, the Indian troops deploy a number of fighter jets from INS Vikrant and destroy PNS Ghazi, compelling Pakistan to back off and accept their defeat in the war. Back to the present, Lieutenant is delivering concluding words. He says that while celebrating the victory, one must not forget the sacrifice they had to make and losses they had to deal. There is Saymat's son Samar Syed in the assembly, who has now become one of the Indian army officials and is very proud of his mother's contributions. In the last scene, we see Saymat sitting alone near a window looking outside. She is waiting for her son to return. It's not an easy way to victory. Decisions that we make may not be morally sound sometimes, but have to be implemented keeping in mind the bigger picture. Let me know what you liked about the movie in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you in next one.